After of tonight's of Monday Night Raw, it was a great show tonight. So, um, so, so Monday Night Raw was a great, a fast, a title show tonight. It was a really good show. So, so if you want to buy something like you get free copy on delivery, merchandise is on deliveryshop.com and more. All the costs, all the platforms and bases. So you get one note application below on my screen right here, but my bottom my note applications below. All my expenses on the bottom of my screen. So so I wanted to shout out to anybody. Um, I'm going to make an announcement. It's coming soon, and I was going to start doing um AEW comic books. It's coming here on the pre-sale. It's coming on this coming Wednesday. Shop.com and more. So so anyone that buy something on delivery stuff on your website, so you can get WrestleMania 42 t-shirts, coats, hoodies, and more. So so anyone can check out on my second channel, and I'm going to post it sometime this week. So I'm gonna get two separate ways, and so much more. So I like Monday Night Raw because it was a great show. It's not too bad from last week. So I'll go with Raw on the title show. I'll go with eight with number nine. It, it was a it was a great show. I really loved that part. So 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 let's go break down the first off tonight's of Monday Night Raw. So let's start with your live streaming right here. So first off, so we have Brock Lesnar promo. He said, stunning quote. So was it last time in full essence, Brock Lesnar lost a Royal Rumble match at Royal Rumble of January 31st. So was it also the heels of a shocking attack at the hands of his now WrestleMania opponent, Ruby Obafemi, and Brock Lesnar took to the squad circle to kick things off on Monday's show. Well, instead of a Paul Heyman claim that this old hype of Royal Obafemi took wasn't also the facts that Brock Lesnar had Brock Lesnar had a combat in dozens of masked men and laid him out. He was defrauded in his de-announcement as a good idea that overframing will be the top star to Slade the Beast and wearing the attendants that make that is even like John Cena or AJ Styles could. Well, instead of overframing entire certain area but once, again, he had been stolen and crossed the ring from Brock Lesnar and Bo McBraw to the fight ensued in the equal temp in F5. The former NXT 7 Ringo Free and dumped and then for the Hall of Famer over the top rope. Adding it to the floor, the heels was reflected in overframing Stuart Tall was the second week in a row. So, into a block, Lesnar is new FA F5 to his soul is mostly badass. It was good, but it has to deposit the evidence in his voice into Paul Heyman's sound. He was shaking in his hands as where he understood that overframing is every bit a threat to his client to be the cornet. Other than that, the advocate had personal he was not better things like that. He's been added to the Hall of Famer. His performance and set him apart from all talkers in the dynasty. Into Brock Lesnar is in overdrive in terms of searching for overframing. Hopefully that breaks in over 2 at WrestleMania 42 is getting closer and closer. Either win or lose or into Raw, and he puts the Royal O has as strongly as possible because these first 2 weeks of this program have been about as profitable as it gets. Oh yeah, speaking of also speed, says went off in the air tonight on Raw. So here's the next match. So we have the Usos taking on against the Forces. So last time info as the Usos and Aaron Knight lost to the Forces on Raw February 16th. Into Logan Paul and lost the Mrs. Symbol match to Randy Orton at Mrs. Symbol on February 28th. Into Austin Theory lost to Sami also on Raw March 2nd. So, after this rivalry between the Usos and the Forces will is last chapter on Monday night when the 2 teams classes in a no title asses. Into the match was a very standard contest and ended up by a commercial break that culminated with a late match appearance by the megastar Aaron Knight, such as Logan Paul and Austin Theory, pay opposed to instill a win from Sami and say Usos. Smuggler's point to Logan Paul from emphasizing brace knuckles onto inside their hands. Agent of Shade also picked the weapon up and clocked Austin Theory with it and drawing these added Kansas match. Also still forming the Usos blocked Logan Paul with it to send an epic message the former world champions is started playing. So, in the winner of this match, Logan Paul and Austin Theory. So, Agent of Shade also has been much less of heating since Roman Reigns has returned and the bloodline has been wasn't more permanent as it has been able to see side from the RTC to the former world champion in the Royal Rumble. If not some serious back into his cousin. And it was Michael Cole recap of Logan Paul's weekend and against it with Tom Brady in case it was any question that the greatest comeback in WWE history is possibly involved into WrestleMania plans. So, at the end, like, include they also have been flashing a more serious, it was a side of himself by leaving both, like, Logan Paul and Austin Theory, with just brace knuckles like this. It's a brace knuckle. It's been putting him and Sami in a passing to have to defend their titles against the opponents into WrestleMania 42. Oh, I'll wait for that match. After the assessment, the more correct and say also is the next chapter of his story and then to get the fans to care about the 1,000 main masses involved in these two teams. So, expecting to Becky Lynch, Hopamo, and Zero. A last time info asks Becky Lynch lost to Avery Lee at Mrs. Symbol of February 28th. Well, Becky Lynch took to the squad circle to address her attack on Avery Lee from last week as she talked about amassing the women's Intercontinental Championship and only for fans to sail on for Avery Lee overhaul. Instead of Avery Lee, Tony interrupts the person chasing to Becky Lynch outside the ring and before this issues set a forgotten and causes silence in a match between the two at WrestleMania 42. After insults like that, the all marquee matches for the women's television was added to the biggest main card of the year. So, into when I saw this promo between Becky Lynch, it's into I minded the Divas era by a line from Becky Lynch, severely and thankfully so. Every week, and Becky Lynch feels like a match that needs a stupid reason, but has it stands in its to its stall. A sudden contest between of two of the most in independent women's in pro wrestling history. Anna did feel like more of the scene, but Becky Lynch is great, and this felt like the most densest promo that Izzy Lee has delivered since she has returned about 7-8 years. Wasn't inventing the Cody deposit the lack of discursive event. Also at backstage, it was Jey Uso to continue to taunt the protecting the family. Going has suffered has a furniture every night where he continues to talk down on Roman Reigns. It was award first had a ring of 81. So here's the next match. So we have Savon Evans goes 1-on-1 against Grayson Waller. So our last time info asks Savon Evans has been undefeated, lackingly into main event March 12th, and Grayson Waller undefeated Sonny Hill main event March 19th. Into of Savon Evans continued his recent string of sources told to undefeated Grayson Waller in a singles competition on Monday night. Once in, Savon Evans victory never appeared in to a doubt, has a young OC was Cody Spotlight and bowing back into the match. It wasn't Jasmine Sybil Henry King was a top rope in the facing his stunned opponent off with an OC cuddle with Adams in the match. Kofi Kingston told Grayson Waller he was not going to get him disqualified and giving him such a little tough love in the wake of the last on your feeding. And the winner of this match, Savon Evans. So, Kofi Kingston and Grayson Waller possibly but letting just condense to the good idea that Austin could be spreading from the New Day very soon and very little. So, into of Savon Evans allowed himself to the ropes with such speed and forcing that he nearly whipped himself out as Grayson Waller had no sense to catch him. Agnes at NXT, Boston continues to impress and has the fans in Boston behind him as he rolled to overwin. Savon Evans a top star, also in the Universal. Agnes at the top, who will carry to the public company into its next aggressive stars. There was not much to, to this one, but Savon Amos Sloan blindness as he should have. So, into a Paul Heyman call out of Seth Rollins. So, into the Adam Pearce backstage, and he told Paul Heyman, "It's time for you. Go to enter the ring." So, I got this highlights from there, I think. Give me 1 second. So give me 1 second here. So give me 1 second here, guys. Give me 1 second. Between Paul Heyman and between Seth Rollins. Okay. Well, I knew where Seth Rollins face, so also in a street fight was a tag titles from next week. It looks like the time is now for Paul Heyman to address tonight about Seth Rollins. So, it is an advisement between the squad circle and where he addressed the recent issues he has had with Seth freaking Rollins for months. And Paul Heyman suggests that the Rollins calm down and put him out of his muzzling. Then he said a man has to do what a man has to do has. Anderson was to appear on the announce table from there, and with police officers show up in time. Was appear at the ringside and is going to Rollins to the crowd. Has Paul Heyman reveal he sniffs inferior a restraining order against him, the Godfather of the stream going to into attacking him and speaking of his wife and his daughter, a Rollins bit. Clark said a Hall of Famer excited to this era in handcuff. So, into about Paul Heyman was at his slimmy best here. Has been touching on the topics he knew would follow Seth Rollins up and get him to arrest. Exciting as he indeed. It was great stuff to have. Either from his etiquette most dependable for an answer for roster. Adding to Rollins and Paul Heyman, this feud continues to feel like it is in hauling upon into it is demanding somebody who will be clear when with a WrestleMania mass up is in the main cause was unfortunately could Braun but could make it back in time. So also a street fight for the titles. So yeah, I've been doing this is about to get out of a 12 real fast. Well, indeed wasn't dragging the Usos, the Enforcers, to WrestleMania is off of stipulation matches cause the Usos going to win again next week And just in the following week, or 2 weeks later, right before at WrestleMania, the Force is bringing a #1 Nintendo's masses and let's take causing to what the Usos want. So, what if Braun Breaker returns next week? Tonight, no, my triple threat tag team matches is not happening. But anyway, we're still getting the Usos against the Forces at WrestleMania 42 because the Forces isn't winning the World Tag Team Championship until next week. And Paul Heyman is gonna man up. So I can't wait to see the street fight. Let's go. I can't wait. I just have to start making matches for WrestleMania. You only have 6 right now instead of 5. So I've been doing the math. So other than that, math will most likely happen soon. And then I just remember how excited I was when the Usos won the tag titles, but this one has been yet an overtime one flop. So starting next week is the world's most famous area Madison Square Garden next week in Boston. So I just hope the Usos do not lose because of every night. I don't know. So this way you see that plays out. Well, I just thought this Braun Breaker is going to come back soon. So, and you wanted time. The time is now. John Cena. Wasn't even that a wise man performs better in promos his looks or something that is no longer seen or seems fake or forced. And Paul Heyman is about to snap him up, but soon. So I'm calling it Bad Bunny is going to return because it's a street fight. So this way you see until Bad Bunny returns next week on Monday. So continue on. So here's the next match. So we have Bayley and Nia Jax taking on against the Kobe Royals. Last time in full absence, Nia Jax and Asuka lost a #1 Nintendo and got it to Bayley on Raw March 9th, and Bayley lost to Izzy Lee on Raw March 16th. Kairi Sane lost to Terry Stratton on SmackDown February 27th. Into a Bayley and Nia Jax on a big victory in the pursuit of a shot at the women's tag team championship on defeating Asuka and Kairi Sane in a boring match up on Monday night. So this was a good collective match, and we saw Solar near falls down, set the stress out Added with Bailey is blessing wasn't all whole ceremony born to put to the press of tomorrow as the party passes away. It was an 8 lead to the former world champion, moving a Bailey to Bailey. Asuka was on the commentary table, and then it tapped about elbow drop, and Kairi Sane saved her opponent and then took a baseball slide in from Lana Pocket and back into the ring as she scrambled to Nightwing has the baby faces on the top to the win. So also afterwards, doing an in-ring promo with Saki Raymond and Betty True down to the Suns for a match with Nia Jax and Lassa Lesson for the tag team titles bout next week at Madison Square Garden in Boston. So, in the winner of this match, Bailey and Lana Fagir. I think it is a testament to the path of the women's roster back in 2026, and that is not a 40% path to WrestleMania 42 for any of the four bossing talented pro wrestlers in this match. Austin Fossey is clearly setting in it for Bailey. Also in it, Fossey feels as true it is only a matter of time. I was before see Tom's Hill in pursuit of 7 gold, and Kevin Singh has a Fossey partner of Asuka. It's a little treatment of her will only result in a hate of fault reactions when she finally stands up for herself. I think embodied the emotionally impressed of tomorrow and live Fakir giving to the win for the team. The possibility hits a nice touch. After 52 teams had in-ring chemistry, if the pacing was good, into the match, the storytelling has worked into the right team when all. So, here's the next match. So we have Intercourse Championship match will be all aligned. We have Dominic Mysterio against Penta. A last time info as Penta undefeated Dragon Lee while on March 16th. And Dominic Mysterio undefeated Il Isadio, Figo AAA, REYD, March 14th. Also has for Dominic Mysterio in top center area into Jimmy Fakir, attack of Liv Morgan in the ball fight between the women's world champion and her #1 contender broke out and that spilled into the going passion. And this is very personal. So Jimmy Fakir and Liv Morgan don't want to wait until for WrestleMania 42. Rushing back from the break is a battle for the IC title. Finally took the squad circle in a full rematch, putting Dominic Mysterio against Penta. Dirty Dom saw Penta during a lesser title ring. Also introducing taking the fight to the man who ended his Intercontinental Championship Outlaws reigning. Later of Dominic, the studio retro, a lost passing of the match, is so pushing Penta to the brink of losing his title late into the contest through his skill to the ropes for a false splash, but into Finn Balor mostly played as a player step through so the curtain he sent Sandy Madonna and falling into Boston area and then Watts has Penta roll up to Dominic Mysterio to the ring to match and retain his title. Was it after the match? Symbolic attack Mysterio and then finally off Sandy Madonna. The story talk to close on this the entire assessment. Agent of AS Guy has set a force of reason for Kyrie saying her seat wasn't the whole treatment at the hands of Asuka for months. It's a great, often there is history there dating back to Damage Control and beyond, and AS is big enough top star to confidence and fans to buy into, and Kyrie saying plot to the match itself took a back seat for us to significant attack of Liv Morgan then to symbolic return, and that is disappointing for Penta. So I just where I'm at here. Okay. Patrick Houston made more than he does right now. Spooky has the champion and with WrestleMania also a household. I just said a full reactions to Fanboy Return is positive events also that the crowd cancels to Dominic Mysterio, and this is a full match that could be a sleepable candidate for one of the most positive for masses on WrestleMania main card. So what if he and when it is correct to announce says yet. Okay, so continue on. So this is our main event. So we have CM Punk and Roman Reigns and under one roof. A last time info as in CM Punk on Infinity Flame Bottle in a message symbol on February 28th, and Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble match at Royal Rumble January 34th. Agent of CM Punk hit to the ring to close out the show and wait for the last face-to-face with Roman Reigns ahead of the WrestleMania 42 of main event. Into CM Punk swung off Sami Oso's going to be very careful tonight. We'll see also on the World Pass has been claiming that not a single Samoan has even looked at him. Nicole says Roman Reigns declared opposition of season on him from last week. After the award ceremony brought up that RTC has been calling him all last week and admitting he is not ashamed of his age and aiming plead to fight anyone who stepped to him, including say also. And what is he going to do of hitting me to death? Agent of State also hit the ring. They came face to face with Punk and fled to the fight and running back on it all. But Sami also interrupted and told his brother to lock in, sparking with the tag team titles also aligned from next week. So he also expressed his anger where Punk has been talking about a family then. And this is our questions where Roman Reigns was he isn't even here, but I am. So I just a clue the Travis C who made his crankest entrance in about spent 5 years in Sonic Permanence is a title ring. He ordered the Usos out of the ring, to which Punk responded by saying that tag champ should stay because Roman Reigns could use the help. Was it 8 Superman punch and 48 referees and producers hit to the ring to break things up to say Usos all into Roman Reigns to smash him good and get him he did for the spill and powerbombing CM Punk into the announce table. Other head for Roman Reigns made his way around the title ring of cameras, and the Punk is laughing and stating, I'm not the one who needs to help, showing that his into WrestleMania opponent did exactly what he wanted him to. Well, Agent CM Punk is calling out Roman Reigns for dyeing his beard may not be Sassy calling out of doing Sassy the Rock's promo of lines on his wrist, but it was still a nice sab. And Say also engaging Roman Reigns to for his issue on Punk was an interesting department could there be room for the WrestleMania follow-up and was also Tones Hill. Very soon, it becomes a Wardlow's family has the travesty that his cousins once he was engaged to Roman Reigns in the last cycle of that rivalry's goals. Into Punk has an indicate small Texas was great and will factor into his ability to manipulate Roman Reigns' muscles and use them against him at WrestleMania 42. And this was not supposed to involve just child harassment, and that always happened, but this may have had the most substance of them all was the Usos involvement, and Roman Reigns was snapping and Punk laughing it off to bother his body, waking up with a pain. So it's an MVP in overall grade for this week. Say also was all over this show tonight, from knocking out Santa Forces to training every night, where he had any more disappointing remarks for Roman Reigns to join leading to the RGC attack on CM Punk, and there was no healing. So it's no painting in no clowning. He was at his last best, and the results was the most interesting thing he has done since winning the world title at last year's at WrestleMania. And it remains to be seen with this last full story department. It takes him, but it is not a stretch to argue that he has been his family and in the final role technically received for Roman Reigns, considering the RTC is always point with winning his title could be in the works that will put them against each other. So, maybe, but even if it doesn't, it substance to say also very renewed. So it's in focus in his welcome. And this was the first episode of Raw, but it felt like there was a content event by WWE creative team to heating things up into WrestleMania 42, says 4 weeks out. Not everything hit, but what he did, he was busting in added to the masses in programs that were coming in Las Vegas on April 18th and April 19th. And it was the time with a big suspense that led to Scotty did overframing and Brock Lesnar tore the house down at the start of the show. Eddie Reed and Becky Lynch set their date for WrestleMania, and both CM Punk and Paul Heyman got into Emily's agent during exactly what they wanted them to, I guess it was a good show tonight. And with all returning to Madison Square Garden from next week's a great one, maybe also a hustle next week. So this is it for this week's. So let's go to the masses from next week at Madison Square Garden. Give me 1 second. From next week. So let me see here from next week for announcements. So let me see. So give me 1 second. Monday Night Raw. Madison Square Garden. So let me see here. Give me 1 second here, guys. Give me 1 second. So that's not it. Give me 1 minute here. Hold on. So give me 1 minute here, guys. Give me 1 second. From next week's. So, okay, I got right here. Okay, so next week, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 things. So it's announced for Madison Square Garden next week. So yes, it was to a full recap. Here is the confirmed lineup for next week's episode of Monday Night Raw. So I wanted to make you sure to tune in to live Congress of Monday Night Raw next week on the coming announced for that show over the coming days. And it's in the meantime, and tells you the predictions for what will go down by leaving a comment below right here for next week. Let me see here. Let me get some live posts. Last, give it 1 second. So Monday Night Raw was a great show tonight. I like about this part. between this. Oh man, I like Danhausen. He's a so funny guy. He's a part of a comedy guy. Just like Arthur did. Like this past Friday. Man, that was good. I like Danhausen. He's so funny. So between him and Danhausen, when he say, okay, there you go. So and don't forget of Jerry Lesson Danhausen of Auto Speed is cost. Oh no, should have say yes to him. I saw. Well, I mean, what's supposed that can happen? He gets put again by Bon Pickle, just like last year. So, what's gonna happen to Speed? Also, Speed. So, instead of he's causing anybody that disappeared, what's going on with him? Of Danhausen. So, so, I think you mean a 2026 Hall of Fame inductee of Danhausen. I hope he might be in the Hall of Fame inductee of Danhausen soon to announce of him. I thought he felt it from that spill from from last year. And does that mean we're close to watch also Speed? Okay, interesting. This was a funny Danhausen suspect that they didn't put on commercial break. So, and you found out, LOL, Adam Pearce couldn't get away fast enough. So, I want to see also Hassan will have been tag team champions. Maybe, I think, was it out of odds if we isn't? WWE got in the last 2 years. I know it got that hasn't will be the best, but I want since of CM Punk. So I remember that day before. I remember. So I was just criticized with Danhausen here in WWE. Has been working with TNA and we may somehow get Danhausen and Wolf may up soon on Thursday nights on TNA. This is gonna be good. Oh no, the Speed got until Danhausen says that you are cursed. I knew what we're all going to do now. I never ate a million years. Did I ever die obviously out of speed and did hasn't ate any catastrophic in ghetto? I think so maybe, but I'm gonna be good, I think, when that plays out. I was thinking about speed got and a half by Bonvego. I don't think he could get much more of cost LL. So what if his YouTube channel gets taken over by Dan Hassan? I'm gonna laugh. So who's gonna live to the cost? I'm asking about speed because about he loses followers on his Twitch or YouTube and now in analysis. So we need more than hasn't of this content for sure. So Dan Hassan is part of a comedy like R-Truth this coming Friday. And when that plays out, it was pretty good, so but it's not bad. So when you I pause a few minutes here. I like Penta. Yeah, Penta and also speed. It's walking like Penta walk. This comic will bring anyone such to rant on this image. I like also speed. He was doing good at this point. So here's a next one. Is there going to be a ball tonight? Probably so, I think. I think Simi also didn't want warning him, come on, and CM Punk into the building is straight as time, 10:16 p.m. Well, Sami also tied to warning him. And Boston loves CM Punk. So, I guess it will pass me running back his entrance of 3 times. And guess there's no point in warning the forces of the faultless. So, CM Punk is becoming old and boring and even annoying sometimes. And also for giving Trigger an agent Roman Reigns call him old. I think maybe I really think when he said so Roman Reigns is not that old. I think he was set apart. So let me look it up a quick minute here. So Roman Reigns is not that old. So let me look it up quick. So Roman Reigns is his age is about 40 years old. Yeah, 40 years old. He was born on May 25th, 1985. I just think talent looks great on him. I don't think Punk is boring him. And why isn't he wrestling Punk? Has been on Raw for the past couple of months. So here's the next one. Why didn't Triple H have CM Punk cut his promo last week? Well, CM Punk been asking Boston where he's old a while and still moving like he's 25. So the answer is no. And he knows it. I think he is old in wrestling by years, 2 years, but so I wasn't with my GOAT like John Cena did, and when you order, but they all still can go like they're all in their 20s, and they're saying yes. So one way to take a pace out of Mandy's book and bring some to the plate, and we will eat that up. And we love what Randy Orton is doing on SmackDown side on Friday. Hey, Mr. Hockey is from my Paradise Nice. Shout out. Come on, Roman. We need more heating. I'm being 47 years old. He obviously is not old. Spoken where he is just the biggest Drew in AEW history and top 3 biggest Drew in WWE today. Just all facts. I get that part. I understand that. So, Randy Orton, Punk, and Alba Fairy the only 3 light answers. I don't give Alba the Nazis treatment, and Randy Orton needs one last one, and we don't need a part-time has Sabians. Roman Reigns is 40 now, so being old isn't even a discussions. I like Roman Reigns. He's been doing what he does, what he's been doing. So for man for Roman Reigns. So here's our last part here. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 minute. Opposite of age is a number, but yes, but not in wrestling. They are all. It's a great promo for Punk. It's the best entrance in the world for a reason. It's the best entrance in the world has spoken. So, CM Punk is a champ. Maybe. His talk too long Roman Reigns should have come out and to interrupt him instead of into next week. So what do you guys think? So I already think I was going to ending to Raw tonight. So Tribal Chief is back. OTC of known as Roman Reigns has a Tribal Chief. Was it actors of WrestleMania 42 just not a predictions? That's a spoil. So let me see. Why did they call Woman so? I cannot wait for this match to finally take place. It's gonna be a War of Rules. So the story is that Punk was right and Roman needed his cousins to get the open hand. He couldn't do it on his own. It seemed Punk would laugh and know he proved his point, while Roman is left questioning whether Punk was right all along. It's not the best story, but it's a story. What it is, but I get it. So let's do YouTube live polls right away. And we must see you guys on Wednesday. So that's it for this week, everybody. So we have 70% where you liked it tonight on Raw. 3% is alright, and 2% didn't like it. So let's go to my Twitter poll. Give me 1 second. Oh wow, everybody really liked Raw tonight. So we have 66.7 really liked it on Raw tonight. 33.3 is alright, and 2% didn't like it. So I hope you guys have a great Monday. Next time when I go live, live streaming this coming Wednesday is so much more. So to get Mustico, Spotify, Acapella, Spotify Radio, and Focus Anything is so much more. So I hope you guys have a great Monday. And I'll see you guys on this coming Wednesday when I go live stream on this Wednesday on AEW Dynamite. And so much more. So I hope you guys have a great night. Come back on when I go streaming on Wednesday on AEW Dynamite. And so much more. So I will keep you guys updated on any more news come out this weekend. I will let you guys know for this week. I'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys. Have a great night. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you on Wednesday for AJ Dynamite is coming up this Wednesday. I'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys. Have a great night. Peace.